The energy supply of the economy and population requires a considerable use of raw materials in Germany. To date, conventional or fossil energy sources such as coal, natural gas, and crude oil have been used to a large extent to generate energy in Germany. This means they are converted into electricity or heat or used as fuel in transport. Renewable energies such as wind power, photovoltaics, and biogas are to become the most important energy sources in the long term as part of the energy transition. In addition to conventional energy sources, renewable energies are becoming increasingly important for power generation in Germany. In 2020, around 500 billion kilowatt hours of electricity were generated in Germany and fed into the power grid. The share of renewable energies in the domestically generated and fed-in electricity reached a new high. It rose from 42% in 2019 to 47% in 2020. At 26%, wind power was the first renewable energy source to account for the highest proportion of the electricity fed into the grid in a year, replacing coal as the most important energy source. Germany's energy supply is completed by electricity that is already generated abroad and imported to Germany. Overall, more electricity is exported from Germany than imported into Germany. In view of the Russian attack on Ukraine, the German government wants to reduce dependence on Russian gas. The expansion of renewable energies is to be accelerated. There are very different answers to the question of how security of supply can be permanently guaranteed. About 55% of Germany's natural gas supply comes from Russia. That's an enormous dependence on just one supplier. This is exactly what the federal government wants to change now, even if Economics Minister Robert Habeck emphasizes that we here can certainly get through this winter with the current level of storage. First of all, there is security of supply even without gas from Russia, he says. But the storage tanks have to be replenished in the summer. Simply giving up gas doesn't work. Even if Germany wants to be climate neutral by 2045, we are currently still dependent on this energy source. 26.7% of German primary energy consumption is covered by natural gas. It is currently used primarily as an energy source for heat supply, and especially in existing buildings. Here, almost half of the apartments with 49.5% are heated with natural gas. In the case of new buildings, it's only 26.6% of the apartments. The federal government is promoting more climate-friendly heating technologies, such as heat pumps, in order to reduce CO2 emissions. The building sector is a problem child when it comes to emissions. In 2020, it was the only sector not to achieve its annual CO2 reduction targets. In other words, there is an urgent need for action here, and even this house is gas heated. Gas also plays an important role in the generation of electricity. 14.5% of German electricity generation in 2021 came from the use of natural gas. In the future, it is to play a particularly key role as a reserve capacity. By 2030, 80% of the gross electricity requirement should come from renewable energies. By 2035, the entire electricity requirement is to be covered by renewable energies, according to the ambitious goal of the Federal Ministry of Economics. I don't see that yet, I'm sorry. However, renewable energies have one disadvantage. Wind and sun are not always available in unlimited quantities. Reserve capacities are therefore needed that can be ramped up at short notice when they are needed. New gas-fired power plants are also to be built for this purpose, as agreed by the so-called traffic light parties in the coalition agreement. And so we will discuss this topic several times in the future. I'm quite sure about it. I'll see you in my next video. I'll be back.